The Russia collusion hoax collapsed under the weight of its own absurdity earlier this year, as you know, and yet, amazingly, it is still claiming victims to this day. Roger Stone went on trial in Washington this week. Officially, Stone is being charged with lying to Congress. That's bitterly amusing if you think about it, given that Congress cannot be charged with lying to you, which it does constantly. But in Washington, everyone understands that's just a pretext. Roger Stone's real crime was giving Donald Trump political advice for 30 years. For that, he faces life behind bars. One person who clearly understands what's actually happening and strongly approves of it is the presiding judge in the case, Amy Berman Jackson. Jackson is an Obama appointee, and she's transparently and aggressively political. Months ago, Jackson prohibited Roger Stone from publicly defending himself in the case. CNN and MSNBC were free to continue to slander Stone, and of course they relentlessly did that. But if Stone said a single word in his own defense, Jackson vowed to put him behind bars. Now, how could Jackson do that in a country with the First Amendment? Well, she couldn't. It's blatantly unconstitutional. But Donald Trump is hated here in Washington, so nobody stopped her. Jackson just did it anyway, just like in the third world. Jackson's behavior in court has turned out to be even more ludicrous and unprofessional, assuming that's possible. At times, she has literally rolled her eyes and snorted at Stone, suggesting he's guilty before the trial even started. Her judgments have been transparently political. Yesterday, for example, during jury selection, one of the prospective jurors turned out to be a former press secretary in the Obama administration who admitted that she despises Donald Trump and has friends in the federal prosecutor's office, which is trying the case. Her husband, meanwhile, works at the Justice Department, which is prosecuting Roger Stone. The woman claims she had followed the Mueller investigation closely, but somehow had never, quote, read or heard anything about Roger Stone's case and didn't have a strong opinion about him. No sober person could take that claim seriously. But Amy Berman Jackson did. She acted like it was all completely fine and on the level. When Roger Stone's lawyers asked that that woman be removed from the jury pool, Jackson refused. Personal conflicts, she said, were, quote, not automatically disqualifying. What ought to be automatically disqualifying is Amy Berman Jackson's behavior from the bench. No fair person could condone it. If there were still honest liberals left in this country, they would be protesting outside the courtroom.